of his travel ban. The ban would otherwise prohibit the entry into the U.S. of citizens from 7 Muslim-majority countries designated security concerns by the previous administration. But today, a federal district court in Virginia is weighing whether the executive order is even constitutional. Let's bring in CNN Justice correspondent Pamela Brown. And Pamela, I guess it's ultimately up to President Trump right now as to what happens next. What are the options?
Right. So one option we've learned from our sources that the administration is considering is rewriting the executive order. In fact, one source says the White House is already working on possible tweaks as the Trump White House weighs its next step. One thing is clear, Mr. Trump, just 3 weeks into his presidency, is not going to give up the fight over his signature travel ban.
I welcome you to the very famous White House.
Today, President Trump speaking at a joint press conference with Japan's Prime Minister, vowing not to give up the legal fight over his controversial travel ban.
We'll be doing something very rapidly having to do with additional security for our country. You'll be seeing that sometime next week. In addition, we will continue to go through the court process, and ultimately, I have no doubt that we'll win that particular case.
Trump's announcement comes in the wake of a strong rebuke from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals over his travel ban. Today, he tweeted the decision was, quote, disgraceful, and again sounded the alarm that there is an urgent need for the travel ban to keep the country safe.
While I've been president, which is just for a very short period of time, I've learned tremendous things that you could only learn, frankly, if you were in a certain position, namely president. And there are tremendous threats to our country. We will not allow that to happen.
But the court said the administration failed to present evidence to back up Trump's national security claim, saying, quote, the government has pointed to no evidence that any alien from any of the countries named in the order has perpetrated a terrorist attack in the United States. Those countries listed in the ban: Sudan, Iran, Iraq, Somalia, Yemen, Libya, and Syria. And the court pushed back against the notion that matters of national security should only be left up to the president, saying, quote, rather than present evidence to explain the need for the executive order, the government has taken the position that we must not review its decision at all. We disagree. Now the Trump administration has to figure out what's next.
There does seem to be some chaos in the Trump administration over the way that this order was written and how to go forward here.
The Justice Department is weighing its options. It could go to the Supreme Court on appeal, or go back to the Ninth Circuit before a larger panel of judges, or it could return to the District Court in Seattle to bolster its case. Another option is to rewrite the executive order, but that could be tricky, because the Ninth Circuit already expressed concern about a more limited ban that only applies to people who have never stepped foot in the U.S.
But even if they did that, it seems like there still could be some issues, because the Ninth Circuit thought that while those were the most troubling aspects of the order, the other parts were on shaky legal ground as well. So even if they rewrote it, it's not clear whether that could pass legal muster either.
And the Washington State District Judge James Robart, who initially halted the ban, has asked the federal government and the states to submit a plan for the next steps in this legal battle by 3 a.m. Eastern Monday. So, of course, we'll be watching all of this closely. Jake.
All right, Pamela Brown, thanks so much.